That wasn't supposed to happen. What the what?
Science.
Okay, today we're going to talk about force. Again, force is any push or pull on an object. When you push something or you pull something, you are exerting a force. Anytime anything pushes or pulls something, you're exerting a force. But what are some of the things that force can do? Well, force can do some pretty interesting things. Force can speed things up, force can stop things, and force can change directions. Okay? Now, what are some examples of this? Well, let's say you were playing with a toy car, and the toy car was standing still, and you were to push it. That means, and starts moving, that means that it's speeding up. Whenever you applied that force, when you first applied it, it starts speeding up. But then it starts to slow down. Why does it start to slow down? And it comes to stop eventually. Why? Well, there's force being applied to it. There's air around that it's colliding with. It's hitting air, and the wheels on the car are touching the ground. Anytime it's moving, it has to push off the ground. The wheels have to turn on the ground. And some of that force, some of the ground is pushing against those wheels. So the air and the ground are pushing against the car, so it eventually comes to a stop. Now, it eventually comes to a stop because it's pushing some of its the air and the ground is pushing up against it, and the car is pushing up against the air, so it eventually comes to a stop. It loses energy. Okay, now what about changing directions? Well, a good example of this is baseball. Whenever you throw the ball, you're putting force. You're pushing the ball through the air. Okay? You're pushing the ball through the air. And whenever you throw it, it's traveling through the air. Now, some of the air is still pushing up against the ball. So it's exerting a force against the ball, but the ball is not stopping. Why isn't the ball stopping? Okay, it keeps going. It will eventually stop because enough air will have pushed enough against it that will have lost energy and will fall to the ground. But it won't stop immediately. It will take time for it to lose the force that is pushing it, the energy. Why? Why won't it stop immediately? Well, because there's this rule in physics. And the rule says that an object that's in motion, an object that's moving, will only stop if an object that's going opposite to it pushes up against it with the same amount of force or greater. So if I throw that ball and I want it to stop immediately, then I will need to hit that ball with the same amount of force that it has or more force. I would need to hit it with more force or the same amount of force for it to stop, for that ball to stop. And what's happening with the air is that the ball is traveling through the air, and the air is hitting it with a little bit of force at a time. That it loses more and more force, and over time it'll fall down. But it will not fall down immediately. It'll keep traveling through the air until a baseball player hits it. And when he hits it with the bat, what happens to the ball? The ball flies away. But it's not flying in the same direction. If you notice, the ball will keep going. It was keep going straight. It's still going straight until the baseball player hit it with the bat. When the baseball player hits it with the bat, it's adding more force in a different direction. Then it goes in a different direction. If a ball's going this way, and then somebody hits it with a lot of more force than the ball has, that way, then the ball is going to fly that way because you hit it with more force in a different direction. Or you can also change directions by, if the ball's going this way and you apply a little bit of force on the side and you keep applying a little bit of force, the ball is going to start going like this. It's still going straight, but it's moving a little bit to the side. is moving a little bit to the side as it's going straight. So force can make things speed up, make things slow down, make things stop if the force is equal to the thing that is moving, or the force is more, then it can make things stop immediately. And force can change direction. Like if the ball is moving and you hit it with a greater force than the ball has, then it'll change direction that way. So yeah, notice all the things that force changes direction, speeds up and stops in your life, and force. Yeah, use the force. Stay in school.